Hi and welcome to Whiskey Shared. You're watching day 2 of my mystery whiskey advent calendar. I'm Toby and you're watching Whiskey Shared. Welcome to day 2 of my mystery whiskey advent calendar. If you've seen this before and you know it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. Otherwise, the way this works is I have over 100 samples in my sample collection and my wife has picked 24 at random. She'll put one a day into a blue Glencairn glass and I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. This is just for fun, so sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. Shall we find out what I'm drinking? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Let's start with the nose. Okay, so this one's definitely smoky. Slightly medicinal. It really is nice. I'm getting like ashy bonfire. There's lots of vanilla. Very nice, sweet peat. Struggling to get much more though. But it is lovely and sweet. I'm getting like vanilla, icing sugar. But yeah, I think the peat note is probably hiding some of the other flavours. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so this is very sweet, very ashy. That smoke is very like smouldering bonfire. It's quite hot. I've got like chili pepper on the tongue. I'd say it's 50 to 55% ABV, but yeah, I think it can sometimes be deceptive with peated whiskies, but this is initially hot. We'll see how it goes as I take a few more sips, but I think we are looking in the sort of 55% ABV mark or range at this stage. The sweetness is nice though, it really lingers on the palate. I'd say it's a little one-dimensional, the finish, but it's, yeah, the initial impressions are it's nice, but it is sort of, it's a slightly chemical, ashy smoke with sweet vanilla. Let's have another sip. There's an ever so slight rubbery note in there, sort of like bicycle tyres. It's faint, it's not very strong, but the dominating flavour is that sweet icing sugar, vanilla. That's really nice, along with that slightly chemical, ashy smoke. I think it's potentially a non-age statement whiskey. It's probably going to be less than 10 years old. Although I do often struggle with getting the ages right for peated whiskies. I think it's probably an Islay, but it's initially reminded me of something like Wee Beastie, but I own a bottle of Wee Beastie and I've had a sample in the past. I've probably even done a blind tasting with it. So I don't think there is Wee Beastie in my sample collection. But that's the sort of vibe I'm getting. It's probably going to be an Islay. Could it be a Kilhoman? I don't know. I'm trying to think what else it could be. I don't think it's anything like Caol Ila. But yeah, I definitely think it's an Islay whiskey, under 10 years old, 55% ABV-ish. Let's have one final sip. It's got quite a nice mouthfeel. as you hold it in your mouth, it tends to give off a more sort of sugar syrup sort of note, almost like a bit like golden syrup. Really is nice, but as it evaporates on the palate, it becomes very very spicy, lots of chili pepper, quite fizzy, tingly. But I think that's where the chemical note starts to come in as it evaporates. But it's got a very long finish. I think this is the sort of thing you could sip 5 to 10 minutes apart, because it would last so long on the palate. And maybe it is a young whiskey, and that's probably the best thing for drinking it, to give it time on the palate and not sip it too quickly. But yeah, I don't think I can nail it down to a specific distillery, but I'm hopeful it is an Islay. Should we find out what's in my glass? Right, so it's the Ralfy and Good Spirits Caol Ila 10-year-old. It's 57.2% ABV, and it was given to me by Whisky Amateur. So thanks very much for that. It's, yeah, I remember the bottling being released and I wasn't quick enough to get one, but yeah, I suppose I was in the right ballpark, even though I wasn't specific enough. I discounted Caol Ila. Obviously I said it was 10 years old or less, so yeah, I suppose I'm close enough. It's 57.2 and I said 55-ish, so I think that's reasonably close. And obviously I did say it was hopefully an Islay peated whiskey, so yeah, I suppose I'm reasonably close. I'm reasonably happy with that. But yeah, it's definitely a nice whiskey. It comes across a little bit younger than it actually is, and it's the sort of whiskey that, yeah, I think you need to take your time with and appreciate it quite slowly. So I think there's a reasonable amount left in the glass. So I'm going to take the rest of my time with this quite slowly and enjoy it properly. Hopefully you found that interesting, and hopefully you'll come back tomorrow for day 3. Saunter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment? And please consider subscribing for more videos like this.